Okay, we're in. Welcome to this evening's webinar, everyone, and welcome to the fabulous CPO, Miss Deanna Latson. We're excited to cover the call this evening, which is going to be based around MOA, and just to get a real understanding so we can drive this product forward in the market over the coming months. But before we even get into that, Deanna, I think you got a little tip for us, right?
I totally do. So, we have really great estheticians, dermatologists, skin experts, and reps who are trying our products in lots of different ways. So they actually send us back tips because they've done things we haven't thought about. And about 2 weeks ago, someone I really trust, they said, hey, Deanna, take your Jove, and so I'm just going to do it. And put like 2 squeezes on the back of your hand, right? And then take your tightener and put like about that much on the back of the hand. See the two?
Yeah.
All right. Then take it and just mix it together like this on the back of your hand. And then use that cream before you go to bed and put it everywhere, all over your face. And then in the morning, wash your face with water and then do that once again, mix together all over your face. I am telling you, the results are unreal. I've had even friends say, oh, come on, your wrinkles are disappearing too much. Did you go get Botox? And other people are seeing really incredible results using that too. So give it a try because the results are undeniable. And within 2 weeks, the results were significant.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure the guys will give feedback as well. I think most of the guys on this call are not eligible for Jove, really, especially the tightening serum. There are the group's mainly in the 20s, but maybe they'll know someone, right?
Everybody knows somebody's got a wrinkle. And here's the thing, for the younger, like the women, even the men, right? You guys get those lines on the top of your foreheads. And this is a preventative measure. So, treat your skin great now. And lots of people don't like to think ahead, but when you're in your 40s or in your 50s and, you want to look like a raisin, or do you want to still look sexy? You know what I mean? So spend a little now so that you don't look like a, old grandpa by the time you're 40. Because, a lot of the guys on this call too, they party a lot. And when you add that does damage to the skin, dehydrates, harms the skin. So use, the combination as a preventative measure.
Perfect. I can definitely vouch for that. Lots of guys in this call definitely party too hard. So that's great advice.
I've seen some of it firsthand.
Yeah. We won't even talk about that now. We won't get into that. Should I share the screen, Deanna? You ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, let's do this. Can you see that?
Yep, see it great.
Okay, all yours. Take it away. Thank you, Deanna.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hey, it's good to be with you guys. And congratulations on still the incredible momentum happening. It's really fun to see on our end, and we really appreciate all of you and your trust in us and the product. So let's talk about MOA. Why did we decide to do MOA? Why MOA is different from anything else in the market? Some of the unique characteristics of MOA, and maybe deal with some of the objections that come up regarding MOA. First of all, we were never going to do a liquid supplement because to make a liquid supplement, most liquid supplements on the market today are 100% powders reconstituted with water and then boiled to death. Which destroys a lot of the benefits and nutrients out of the product. So it was never in our radar to make the product in the first place. But what happened is we had a large group in the Netherlands who were a part of a liquid supplementation company that basically kind of shut their doors overnight. And so we came to the rescue, and we were in R&D for about 1.5 years, and we made this product called MOA. And even the naming process, everything about it was kind of funny. We'd gone through many iterations of names, and Winhan, our chief information officer, this big Chinese dude, kept walking in on the meetings. He doesn't get to sit in on naming meetings. And he would walk in and he goes, it's MOA, the mother of all. It's got everything. And we'd be like, oh, that's so dumb. Leave. And he would leave. And he just kept coming in every time we were discussing naming of this product. And the Europeans were in visiting from the Netherlands. And he walks in and says, I think you guys should think of MOA. And they all fell in love with it, and MOA stuck. So why do we do it? Why is it an important product for you, your friends, your family, your kids, your neighbors? Well, first of all, let's step back and say, what is the goal? What is your goal health-wise? I'll tell you what my goal is personally. I think all of us should have a health goal. I'm an older mom. I have a 7-year-old son. He's busy, man. We go skateboarding Saturday mornings. I mean, I can't be the 50-year-old mom who can't go into the ocean with my son, who can't ski with my son, who can't get on a skateboard with my son, and can't ride a bike with my son. I don't want to be that old mom. So I want to be someone who ages gracefully, still has the energy and ability physically to do whatever it is I want. And I also want to wake up feeling good every day. If you start to talk to people around and you say, hey, how do you feel when you wake up? Majority of people don't feel good. They go to sleep and they wake up in the morning, they do not feel good. And there's lots of reasons why. And one of my favorite pieces of research that I go back to often is a study that was done out of the University of Honolulu. Well, looking at centenarians across the world. And a centenarian is someone who lives to 100-plus-year-old, And what's interesting about the study is the 100-year-olds are healthier, feel better, have a more active life than the average European 70-year-old or the American 70-year-old. There's 30 years of age difference. And a lot happens between 70 and 100, you would think, right? Things would continue to break down and deteriorate. But what happens is these centenarians at 100 are healthier than the 70-year-olds. Why? What are they doing different? When you look at the largest group of centenarians on the planet, there's a group in Japan, and they eat about 30 different varieties of foods, 30 every week. When you look at the average American, you look at the average European, in total for the year, we maybe expose ourselves to about 20 different varieties of food. And so here's the thing, a chip is a chip, right? It's no different. It's a chip. It's all made with the same stuff. Cereal in a box is all made with the same stuff. It's not different food groups, right? Processed meats, processed foods, it's all made from the same stuff. And so when we go into the grocery stores and we buy these boxed, canned, packaged things, they're all made with the same low-level quality foods. They're just packaged, flavored, mixed a little different to make you think you're getting different food. But the reality is the majority of us do not expose ourselves to nutrient-dense foods. I mean, and another really important thing to understand about the centenarians in Japan, and I love this saying, so I want to share it with you, is they have a saying called Hari Hachabu. Okay? What does that mean? It means eat your 8/10 full, and you will have more longevity. And there's something to that. So we're just going to pay attention today about exposing your body to lots of different nutrients, exposing your body to a wide variety of things that you don't consume on a regular daily basis, and the benefits to that, and reminding you to set that goal. What do you want to be like? I know a lot of you on the call are young parents. Do you want to be the kind of parent that's playing ball with their kid, or do you want to be the parent that's with a walker and needs diapers? And we party hard when we're young. We think our bodies look great because we work out. We don't got to worry about what's in the inside, but that is faulty logic, because sooner or later it catches up to everybody, no matter what your body looks like, if you aren't taking care about the inside. So let's take a look at how important nutrients are. James, if you could head over to the next screen, I want everyone to understand the significance to nutrient deficiencies. The damage your system will endure actually from a nutrient deficiency is hundreds of times greater than any damage caused by radiation or chemicals. Wow. The body is a complex machine. It relies on vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients to work and perform its duties. And to be honest with you, the body's badass if you give it the right stuff. Gum and candy and beer and frozen pizza and that's not the right stuff. And I know, James, you just bought a new car, right? You bought this beautiful Porsche. Is that what you bought?
Yeah.
So you have this beautiful Porsche. Would you go to the petrol station and put low quality gas in that Porsche?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've had a tight month with Barracks at the minute. No, I'm only
Oh,
joking.
oh, don't be giving me your bull crap.
No, you're right. And of course.
Would you do that?
No, you wouldn't, because it reflects in the performance.
Wow, I couldn't have paid you better. We didn't even set that up. If you put the low quality gas in your Porsche, it affects the performance. So why is it that every day, everywhere around us, people put low quality crap in their body and expect to feel good? I don't understand it. The logic isn't there. And here's what's funny. You, like many others out on the planet, will often take better care of their vehicles than they will their own body. You'll probably put more sacrifices of crap in your body. Oh, just this one time, everything in moderation. But are you going to do everything in moderation inside your vehicle?
No.
Okay, I'm going to digress for a second. I'm going to tell you a little funny story about this. So I was doing nutrition counseling for our professional baseball team here in San Diego. Okay, I know the owner of the teams, and I was trying to get these guys to stop eating Dippin' Dots ice cream, which is like the worst on the planet, right? And these guys are making millions. They got $10 million contracts, $15 million contracts. And when you look at it, their cars are super fancy. And there was a young rookie in his 20s. He thought he was something, he's big contract and he's like the bomb, right, in his head. And so I said, okay, these guys got total attitude. How am I going to get my point across? And he's got this super fancy car. It's like $170,000, $200,000 car or something. So I got a gallon of water in a funnel, and I took him and the rest of the team out into the parking lot, and I opened up his gas tank. I asked him to open his gas. I put a funnel in the gas tank, and I was getting ready to pour the water into his gas tank. And he had like a friggin' mini meltdown, I got really close. It looked like I was putting water in his gas tank. And all the other guys are laughing. And I said, wait. Why are you trying to stop me from putting water in the gas tank? And he said, what you did, it's going to destroy the motor. It's going to ruin my vehicle. And I said, oh, yeah. You make $15 million for doing what? And he said, playing baseball. What allows you to play baseball? Oh, well, me. Oh, your body, right? So your body's your vehicle for the money that you get in order to keep this car, but you're willing to put crap in your body. Like it's such a disconnect. Anyway, I got my point across and it went over very well. However, it's such a disconnect because we walk around and we just think we can do what we want with no consequences, but the consequences are severe. And for those of you who think, well, I eat fruits and vegetables all the time, I'm covered. The reality is we just aren't. And if you switch over to the next slide, and I talked a little bit about this when I was there last time, you just keep switching. It must come in at a time. When you look at these vegetables and you look at these fruits, what has happened in the last, just 50 years, you're seeing massive decline. And this is just one vitamin. We could go through and we could pick all the other vitamins, and you're going to see declines like this in our food as well because of over-fertilization, because commercial farming produce more for people. And so therefore the quality of the food goes down. And so what we decided is we would put together MOA. We would put together this drink that was not boiled to death. It wasn't just a bunch of fruit powders reconstituted with water. And we would expose people to ingredients that are famed for all over the world for having really positive health benefits. So if you can go to the next slide, you will see that when we put this together, it wasn't easy to make, aloe vera and white tea and, black seed and mushrooms and turmeric and all these different ingredients taste good. It just wasn't, but looking at the research, looking at what different countries all over the world used as medicinal foods that had remarkable health benefits on the body, we thought, well, we're going to pull these ingredients into this product and we're going to make something nobody's ever seen before. So let's take a moment to look just at the mushrooms for a second. And maybe you're asking yourself, like, why mushrooms? And James, you can move over to the next slide. Why do we use mushrooms? Well, mushrooms are such a phenomenal nutrient source. And what's important to understand about mushrooms is also understand how they're grown. If you can switch over to the next slide really quick, is understanding this about mushrooms. And see, mushrooms, they have a natural internal defense, right? And fungi have this natural strong antibiotics, and they're super powerful as far as like natural medicines on the planet for the body. And if you switch over to the next slide, you'll see why we choose the mushrooms we do. You see, some foods, it's really critical to only eat them organic. And it's super critical in the mushroom category because mushrooms absorb and concentrate whatever they grow in, right? Good or bad. And that's what gives mushrooms their potency. So if you grew mushrooms in lead soil, it would absorb all that lead. And they'd be toxic, make you sick. And so this is how we pick ingredients. Like, I love this part of my job. So we go out and we say, okay, we want these mushrooms because we know these mushrooms are so incredible for the body, right? And we know that the health benefits are phenomenal. So what can we do to find the best mushrooms on the planet? So we find this organization in California that grows their mushrooms indoors in a controlled environment, but they do something that nobody else does, and they have a patent on it. It's a microfusion, they call it. Microfusion. I kind of love that word. And so what they do is they get this purple corn. You see that purple corn? They get purple corn from the mountains in Peru. All right. Why? Why do they get that purple corn? Because that purple corn, to survive in the mountains in Peru, turns dark purple. It releases those pigments into its skin as its natural defense mechanism. Well, those pigments are particularly critical to understand. Those pigments is what makes this corn so amazingly awesome. So you have to know that, like, these pigments in the plant kingdom, they're known as like flavonoids, right? And these colorful pigments in our fruits and our vegetables, they have long been valued. We're talking, we weren't even thought of when it was used as medicines. You know, cranberries used to treat urinary tract infections, elderberries for colds and flu, hawthorn for lowering blood pressure. And when you look at fruits and vegetables with these dark pigments in them, known as anthocyanins, there are hundreds and hundreds of studies that support that they improve the health, help you ward off disease, a wide range of biological activities, including like fostering eye health and reproductive health and bring down oxidation and supporting collagen. I mean, it really goes on and on. We could do an entire hour just on anthocyanins, right? So what this company did is they got this corn from Peru, okay? And they ground it up into dirt, and they grow the organic mushrooms on that corn. Nobody else is doing that. And they're called microfusions because they've taken the power of the mushrooms, grown them in this really rich, amazing soil, and they have fused these mushrooms with extra potency. We didn't have to do that. Do you know how much money I could save not doing that? Just going on regular old mushrooms, I'd probably make our CFO so happy. But the reality is the difference of the efficacy is just there. These mushrooms are like, they're like the holy grail of mushrooms. You know, it's like looking at what's a bad car in Europe? A really bad car.
Smart car.
A smart car. Fred has one. They're awful. A smart car or a Porsche, right? What is the elite car? These are the elite mushrooms because they've gone to the extra effort of importing this corn, making it into the dirt and growing it on there. So that's how we make these choices. And of course, they make me really excited because I know the power of these mushrooms. But we have another mushroom in this product. If you can go to the next slide, which makes me even more excited than these mushrooms. And this mushroom is not a whole food mushroom. Those other mushrooms are ground up, and they're the whole food mushroom ground up in your product. This mushroom is an extract, and it's an extract on purpose. It is the most expensive ingredient of every ingredient in all of RX. It's called Mataki Gold 404. So why do we use an extract instead of an entire maitake mushroom? Well, I tell you, it would literally probably cut my cost of MOA down by close to 50% if I was willing just to use a maitake mushroom. But we don't. We use this mushroom. Why? Because it is certified for its bioactivity, because it is patented, and because it's clinically tested. Now go to the next slide and I'll show you exactly how it is clinically tested. It has been reviewed in double-blind, placebo-controlled studies at the University of Louisville, Kobe Pharmaceutical University, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, which is the best cancer research center in the United States. And it is currently being investigated by the FDA for investigational drug number. I swear, like if I had a microphone, I would just drop it right now, because you have to understand this mushroom is unreal. There is a reason why it's the most expensive mushroom in all of our products. So go to the next slide. So let's talk about...
So Deanna, just a quick one. I know we can't make any claims, but if people did their own research, I don't know, a potential customer, could you say to them, hey, don't even trust me, go and look at the benefits of maitake 404 because the research is there. Is that something you could say? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
The research is there.
The research is there.
And it's undeniably friggin' awesome. Here is a small explanation of the research, okay? What this maitake Gold 404 does, and it was developed by Dr. Nanba in Japan, is it activates and enhances the actions of your macrophages, your natural killer cells, your T cells. What are those? Why should any of you care? Well, you have to know that these cells attack the bad cells, attack your viruses, attack pathogens in your body. So it's like these cells are your internal army, and you're being invaded by somebody you don't like, right? And so these cells are going after to kill the bad guys, and they're very, very good at their job. It has a detoxifying effect on the liver and the lungs. But here's the problem. Sometimes our troops inside of our body, they get tired because we drink. They get tired because we don't sleep enough. They get tired because we eat absolute crap food. They get tired because we're stressed, and they don't work as well. And they allow the bad guys that are invading to hang around a little bit longer than they should have. So the research is undeniable on what maitake Gold does. And James, if you can go to the next slide, I'll actually show you what two of these cells look like. Now that's a macrophage, the guy with the big long arms, right? And it's a type of white blood cell, and it like engulfs and digests all the junk you got going on that shouldn't be in your body. Specifically, it goes after anything that doesn't have the types of proteins that a healthy body cell should have on its surface. So it's like your like remarkable sponge that's going around and it's going after all the bad guys. And there is, I mean, you can just imagine, right, without me saying, all the benefits to that. And this mushroom activates that cell. It gives that cell a little bump, and it says, hey, get to work. You got a job to do. Even if your body's a little overwhelmed and stressed, you need to get going. So go, And if you go to the next slide, we're looking at another cell here. And this is a T cell. And I love this picture because it's so freaking rad. I mean, that's what the body does, right? The T cells are these amazing white blood cells, and it's attacking right there. You see what it's doing? It's actually attacking like a toxic cell, a bad cell. It's wrapping around and like engulfing it and destroying it. And that's what these T cells does. And maitake Gold 404 activates those T cells, that go out and destroy abnormal cells. I mean, honestly, do we have to even talk anymore? Because that mushroom extract is enough to sell this product.
It's insane. Just once you start to talk about it like that, like people, to the untrained person, and they maybe just think it's some fresh fruits and vegetables in a bottle. But like you said, when there's a no compromise on quality and you go for the level of ingredients that you've gone for, and with the Mataki 404 and the benefits of just that one product. Yet we've got another 33 different nutrient dense superfoods in there. It's staggering when you think about it.
Just the mushrooms, the other mushrooms, the reishi, the antiviral, the antibacterial, what it does for the immune system, combined with this mushroom and the other 3 mushrooms we got in there and what they do in the body, that right there makes the product phenomenal. And people just don't understand it. I mean, who's buying organic mushrooms from California grown on purple corn from Peru? We are. I love their facility too. I'm in love with them. They just make the most remarkable stuff on the planet. And so let's go to the next slide and look at a few of the other ingredients. All right. What are some of the other things we decided to do? Why did we do it? Oh, and then one other thing I want you all to know is, with the Mataki Gold, maybe we sprinkle dusted it in there. No, it's in there at a clinical dose, which means that it's in there at a dose that activates those cells. Remember that. Even though it's the most expensive ingredient in all the product, and I could have just sprinkled it in and said, hey, let's talk about this great mushroom, right? And sell it out to the public. That's not what we did. We put it in there in a dose that was already proven by science to actually have a positive impact on your body. Perfect. So looking at this, go ahead.
So just obviously when we're talking about the science with this stuff, I know some of this is with like reference to individual ingredients. We got one place where all this stuff is collated. Are we working on something? And I know we have to be careful about.
Yeah, here's the problem: is that science makes some heavy duty claims.
Yeah.
And your government, my government, pharmaceutical companies, they don't like to read about ingredients that have stronger effects on your health than their own pharmaceutical drugs do.
That's the problem.
It's the problem. Well, yeah.
I suppose if people know and understand, then it's our job to educate others, right? And say, hey, look, without making claims, look, understand what Mataki 404 is, understand what the mushroom group is and the health benefits with those things. And that's what I like about this now that we've got into the call. I've seen other drinks with, fruits, vegetables, but it's even like you said, if you just add in or even focus on the mushroom range. I've never seen that before with other nutritional drinks. It's kind of just been, fruits and vegetables along that line. So that alone, as you mentioned before, gives it great value.
Well, you know why, right? Because they're so expensive and they don't taste good. And so, of course they don't, I mean, we have a mushroom in MOA, and I showed it on that last photo. And I guess if you click back really quick, we can get people to look at it specifically. And it's right after the initial slide. If you click back to it, we have a mushroom called cordyceps, and it looks like a bug. You see it?
Is that right?
Yeah. That's a cordyceps. Who's buying that at the grocery store and saying, let me cook that up for dinner? Do you know anyone?
Nope.
No. And I have to tell you, it has been used traditionally in herbal medicines for centuries. There's a huge, wide range of chemical components just in that mushroom alone that have made it used for traditional medicine. And we're talking, and the cordyceps is so interesting, and having it in the powdered fungi, that's what we do. It's ground up powdered fungi and been used in traditional medicine in Asia for, oh my gosh, centuries and centuries, because what it does for the heart, what it does for cholesterol, how it benefits the respiratory system, how it benefits the immune system, just that mushroom, right? And I didn't even spend any time when we passed by why mushrooms slide. But the reality of yourself, who's going to buy that? Unless you go to a specialized Chinese market and you get lucky and you pay through the nose for that mushroom because it's super expensive, and then nobody knows what they're going to do with it, right? Or how to make it. That's the whole point. Exposing you to phytonutrients, exposing you to ingredients that you never get exposed to, and helping your body remain in peak condition, supporting your body so that when you wake up in the morning, you feel good, and helping your body's internal army get to work. Well, what are some of the other things? Let's cover a few of the others, okay? If you can go back to the slide that's got all the ingredients on it. Some people will say to me, like, why do you use, Deanna, why is pomegranate a concentrate when mango is not? Or why is cranberry a concentrate and mangosteen is not? How did we make these choices? So it's simple, honestly. Cranberry, for example, has been known for a long time for its antioxidant properties. It's been shown in numerous clinical studies to have a very positive effect as an antibacterial on the bladder, and natural ways to increase the the health of your skin and your kidneys and your urinary tract system. What makes the cranberry awesome? It's the dark pigments we already talked about, and it's the antioxidant level. So if I juice cranberries, I'm getting all that awesomeness, and then I'm getting all the water that's in that fruit. If I spin out that water, it allows me to put more cranberry in that MOA, giving you concentrated antioxidants and concentrated pigments. Why should I give you the water? And some people think, oh, you're being cheap because you use a concentrate. Oh, no, 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 no. If I took the cranberry juice and used cranberry juice, we juice it and give you the whole juice, which includes all the antioxidants, all the pigments, and the water, that's going to cost me less. And you're going to have less of a health benefit. And so we look through the ingredients and we say, okay, listen, the cranberry, super high in antioxidants, right? Our dark berries, all those anthocyanins, right? All those incredible pigments that have incredible benefits for the body. So a concentrate is simply the juice with the water spun out, which makes it a concentrate, right? But it's a concentrate of all the goodness across the board. And so when you look, who's eating acerola cherries, who's eating, dried plums regularly, who's eating mangosteen. I mean, sure, we've heard of mangosteen, the benefits it has in the Polynesian islands, the benefits it's had on people's health and well-beings, but who's eating it? Who's eating noni? And noni, it's benefits, it's anti-inflammatory benefits, it's support for the neurological system. Who's eating it? I don't know anybody who eats it regularly. Yeah. So when we go, do you?
No.
And it smells awful. Oh, like awful. Like who died in your house when you bring it in? It's really bad. And so we go out, literally, we went everywhere and we gathered these ingredients. We brought them together to give your body exposure to super awesomeness. What about the bergamot? Our bergamot is an extract of the bergamot, and it is unbelievable. We buy a bergamot for a company that requires me to sign a contract saying that I will only use this bergamot at a clinical dose so that their reputation is always in place for this bergamot working. And what does bergamot do? It supports really healthy cholesterol levels. And it works. And it's in there at a clinical dose. What about the black seed? Why do we have black seed in there? I mean, read about black seed. Hundreds of chemical compounds that help the digestive tract. I mean, the benefits, the health benefits just on the black seed, and it's been used for centuries in the Middle East as one of the most powerful healing seeds of the region. Oh, but they don't taste good. It is not easy to make that taste good. Or aloe vera and the benefit for the digestive tract, and so, or seaweeds. And that, when you look at the longest lived people on the planet, they're eating seaweeds too. Who do you know is eating seaweeds every day? I mean, I barely got you to eat sushi, James. You're not eating seaweed.
No. Well, I am now because I'm taking more. And I probably shouldn't tell you I drink it out of the bottle, but that's a whole different sketch. We'll cover that soon.
No, you don't. Don't drink it out of the bottle.
Drink out of the bottle. He drinks out of the bottle. I'm not guilty.
Who's that?
That's Chris Fielding.
Chris, don't be drinking it out of the bottle.
Don't be drinking out of the bottle. He's
Deanna, I'm so sorry.
Hey, buddy, listen. Drinking out of the bottle introduces all your own bacteria and issues, and it makes it go bad fast. I didn't pasteurize this thing to death. And the preservative we use is very little. I use the least possible. I hate preservatives, but here's a problem. When I didn't use one, I blew up 60,000 bottles. They fermented and blew up. When you use whole foods, stuff grows on them. So I was like, oh crap, that's not going to work. We can't be blowing up 60,000 bottles every couple of months, you know? And so I use a little bit of preservative, but I don't use enough preservative to deal with your bacteria that you're introducing to the bottle every time you drink out of the bottle.
But it tastes so good. I feel like we're in a, I don't know, but no, you're right. And I'm not, no one else.
Have better manners, gentlemen.
No, I know you're right. You're right.
Oh,
it's not big and it's not big and it's not clever.
It's not.
So Deanna, just like with the extracts and concentrate. So that's maybe an objection that people meet in the market. You know, I don't know, someone who you know, they think they know about nutrition or claim that they know about nutrition. They may look on the back of the bottle and see that they say, oh, it's got extracts and concentrate. So that's the reason that our guys can say, hey, look, the reason is that, you know, it's in there. Basically, if it's an extract or a concentrate, it's because it's actually more nutrient dense than it will be in its whole form.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. When people give you that objection, I mean, I wish I was standing there because I just want to look at them and go, well, you're just a little uneducated. You know, I use a white tea extract. Do you know how difficult it is in the white tea we use? Our white tea is made from young tea leaves. They're steamed immediately after harvest, right? And then what they do, they have a real high concentration of antioxidants other than other white teas. I mean, we're talking, this has been proven at Harvard. It can reduce some of the risk of 4 major health problems. I use an extract of that. Why? Because I want the most potent stuff. If I give you the whole tea, you know, just the tea and not the extract, you're getting a lot of other things too, but some things are so awesome. I want you just to have the awesomeness of that one thing. Like the Mataki Gold 404, we could give you that whole darn mushroom. I'm telling you, it'd save me a boatload on making MOA. I could ground out that darn mushroom and give it to you, and it might make some customer happy, but it's going to be nowhere near as efficacious. You know, so when customers say this to me, like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, we use the whole mango steam, the whole mango, but on some things are so powerful in the body, I want to give you the best. So the extract of bergamot really affects your cholesterol. It works. It's proven. Or I could just juice the bergamot and cost me 1/10 of the price, but you'd get 1/10 of the results.
Yeah, powerful stuff. And that's it. It's understanding for the guys that everything's in there in the best dose it can be in to have the biggest impact on the human frame, right?
100%. I mean, would you expect anything less?
No. I wouldn't. Not from a lady who sleeps in organic pillows.
And an organic bed with organic sheets, washed with organic soap. Let's just be clear.
Okay. Yeah, we need to bring that range out then, so we can make it easy for everyone. So Deanna, and I'm sure you've got some other bits as well, just while it was fresh on my mind, if that's okay. So that's, if you start talking about all that you've been through with the company sourcing the finest raw ingredients, some of the challenges we had with blowing up bottles, then that's probably, for those on the call who've not heard of this before, maybe new. You start to understand how MOA won a Stevie Award, which is a Silver Stevie, which is an industry award. And basically it was kind of the top nutritional product from how many entries, Deanna? Thousands, right?
Thousands. And I'm dying a little because I forgot to mention one ingredient.
Okay, go with the ingredient.
Okay, one more, sorry. I just can't help myself. So there's another ingredient in there. I really want you to understand the thought that goes into this thing. We could have made this product in 3 months. It took us 1.5 years. So, I mean, I'm just saying, why did it take us so long? Because everything has a purpose. Everything has thought behind it. Where is this ingredient grown? Is it native to where we're getting? It'll be stronger. Do we use a concentrate? Do we use an extract? Do we use a whole food? Everything had conscious thought behind it. So there's an ingredient there you'll see, bioprene. That is a trademarked ingredient. It's an extract of pepper. You have to understand that if you don't have you can have great ingredients, but it doesn't mean much if your body is pretty toxic and you can't assimilate those ingredients. So we know that lots of people have really messed up digestive systems and they're not absorbing these things. They're not bioavailable. Well, is it my job to fix everything in the human being? Really, it's not, right? I can just give you this product. It's great stuff, and it's your fault if you're so toxic you can't absorb it. However, I don't think that way all the time. Really, we step back and say, what can we do with all this awesomeness to help make sure that it gets absorbed in the body and has higher bioavailability? Well, that's where we added bioprene, and it is clinically proven, this ingredient, this extract from pepper, to increase the body's ability to uptake nutrients. That's the only reason it's in there. So not only did we pick all these other great ingredients, we got a patented, clinically proven extract to now help ensure that they will be more bioavailable for your body and you can absorb them. That's the type of details people just don't understand. That's what happens in the background, you know, like bioprene's like my Christmas present. Makes me want to dance a little bit. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's put it in there. It tasted awful. You're like, oh man, that's awful. You know, it's hard to make black seed and black pepper extract and aloe vera and seaweed and tea and all that stuff taste good. That's why it also took a long time. And we did it without adding any sugar either or artificial flavors.
And we got there in the end because it is such a distinctive taste, but it's addictive. I mean, I'm sure most on the call will agree. You know, the first time you taste it, it's not what you expected, but then what I love about it, coming from a previous company where, you know, the nutritional element was there was kind of capsules and things, and there was no taste, so there was no, I don't know, there was no trigger in the brain. But with MOA, if you don't have it for a day because of the taste, it's on the palate, it reminds you. So I think that's a powerful thing, as well as obviously people getting the benefits, is people almost becoming addicted to the taste, because that's what it seems like for me. I don't know for other people on the call as well, or maybe even yourself, Deanna, but it's such a strong, distinctive taste that when you don't have it, you miss it, right?
Oh my gosh. People, you would think that we have added some type of addictive drug to this product, because more than any other product, and I promise you we didn't, right? More than any other products in the market, people say without it, they're freaking out. You know, and a lot of people always ask me, what's the youngest age that someone can start taking MOA? And you can water it down with water or like a natural juice for your kid, you know, after the age of 2. Remember, it's really a whole food product, you know, and so it's okay for your kids too. My son loves it, you know, and so it's good for the whole family. And also, you know, people also ask, you got to remember, we didn't boil it to death, and we put the least amount of potassium sorbate is the preservative we use in the product. The least amount, it is almost undetectable. So when you open it, if you're doing with like Chris and James are doing, drinking out of the bottle, it's not going to last very well. You're introducing a lot of bacteria that can grow in the product. But if you're pouring it out of the bottle the proper way, you know, we say 14 days on the bottle, but, you know, you could probably safely, if you keep it in the fridge and you don't contaminate the rim or anything like that, it'll safely last probably 16, maybe 17, 18 days without growing any type of bacteria.
Perfect. Deanna, you just touched on something there. There's some questions coming in as well. So for me personally, I do more than 3 bottles in a month, like easily, sometimes 4.
That's so many people do that.
So the guys on the call, because you know what people are like, they're always just, oh, what's the minimum I can take? And I'm saying, you know, that might be, you know, customer mentality, but when the customer doesn't understand the benefits, and it shouldn't be a distributor mentality. So what would you say, for the guys on the call? And one of the questions is, can you take too much more?
Well, I had a guy once, you all know him. He happens to travel with me from the United States over sometimes, and doesn't have much hair, and maybe he's a founder over here. So when he initially got his MOA, was like, what did you make? This is awful. No one's going to sell it. It's disgusting, you know? And I spent like a half an hour just with him on the phone, telling him how he's totally wrong. And he was so inspired after our call that he drank a whole bottle in one day. he spent some time in the bathroom. That makes me laugh. Listen, you can't hurt yourself. You can't really. It's pretty hard to overdo it. You do a bottle in one day, you know, you might have some loose stools, that sort of thing, but it's hard to overdo it. And if you're pregnant or if you're nursing, you can take it too.
Yeah, and also as well, I suppose when you get the little symptoms for illness, of course you just increase the dosage and things like that if you're feeling a bit more.
Oh yeah, that's what I do with Phenoli as well, because it's called a therapeutic dose at that level, right? Yeah. And so it's anyway, it's therapeutic at that point.
So saying to the guys on the call, for me personally, I don't know. What about yourself, Chris? How many bottles do you?
5.
Oh, I've been Tenerife. He's been 11 Tenerife. No, I'm joking. Yeah, he does 5, but I'd say I do 3 to 4, and that's probably a good message for the guys on the call. If you want to build a MOA business, you really have to be, you know, the old cliche, but products are the product, right? And you know, are you making, you know, 2 bottles of MOA last between the family for the month? Well, if you are, then you ain't really getting the benefits that we talked about, or maybe not feeling those benefits, or not getting them as much. And you know, if you're going to go forward and build with this, you need to lead by example. And if you want your customers to be purchasing 3 bottles or even 5 bottles, then guess what? That's what you need to be doing, because we're in the recommending business as well. So I think that's really important for guys to have that belief, not just the knowledge that you give, Deanna, because that's important, but the belief. And the belief comes from consumption, right? The belief comes from being
absolutely. Experiencing, being a product of the product. Can you imagine if I was totally full of crap and I ate at McDonald's every day and all the bad stuff? I mean, would I come across halfway? I don't, there's no way I would be passionate like I am. You can't fake that. Yeah. You either live it or you don't. And people will feel that authenticity from you. They'll feel like, oh no, she does that, right? Because you can't argue with her on that, you know, because she's experienced it herself. And that's attractive, that type of enthusiasm or passion, because you have a story on it, the way you feel on it. It's sexy. People are drawn to that. They want to know, like, why the hell you feel so good? And you can't fake it and go, oh, well, you cannot fake. You can't fake it. You got to be a product of the product.
And you got to be excited about it, just like these guys here, right, Deanna?
All right, listen. James was telling me that you guys love MOA. And I said, oh, bull crap. Like, you don't love MOA. The UK, Europe does not love MOA like the Russians love MOA. The Russians have costumes. The Russians have ladies who are every ingredient in the product. The Russians create musicals, song and dance routines with MOA. Did you put up another photo?
I only put the one in.
That one. So until you start your own MOA musical, I don't think you really like MOA. And I was considering maybe stopping sending it, maybe backording it to the UK.
You said if we don't take it serious, why should you take us serious? And that's a fair point. So as you were saying that, then I was writing some notes about a MOA musical. I think we need to get our act together. So after this, obviously, I'm looking for some volunteers, and obviously there's 34 spaces up for grabs with the ingredients. So just let me know which ingredient you guys want to be, and Bagsy being the big purple thing. Oh, in fact, Rick.
Right. I'd like to see Team Commando dancing in.
Team Commando could definitely do this. Let's see if just a couple of questions, if that's okay, Dan. Just like 5 minutes before we finish. I have a mother would be saved about mothers being on MOA. I'll be the bottle of MOA.
Oh, here. I just clicked on the questions. I'll take a look.
Okay.
All right. All right. Does MOA actually lower cholesterol or keep it under control? Okay. Lowering cholesterol is a serious health claim. The bergamot extract we use has a remarkable effect on cholesterol. A really phenomenal effect. And it's in there at a clinical dose. And a clinical dose is always a shot. So you have a clinical dose of black seed, you have a clinical dose of bergamot, you have a clinical dose of Mataki 404, and that means ingredients that have been tested in significant clinical studies to show without a doubt that they have a healthy effect on the body. So as far as breastfeeding moms, you're good. As far as kids is watering down the MOA, whatever to get them to taste it, to have it, you know. It's suitable for diabetics. We had to test it. It's super low glycemic. And so that's really good as well. I mean, you're not going to have, you know, people say, well, there must be so much sugar in that. Nope, you're wrong. They're just not. And we had to test it, and the glycemic index of the doses is extremely low. Can you take it when you're on slenderized? Absolutely, because the glycemic industry is really low. And remember, the clinical dose is per shot, not per bottle. When it comes to friends that are allergic, I saw something come up for like aloe or wheat barley. You know, you always get somebody to try it a little bit, and then if they don't have a reaction, then they're good to go. And so you know, it depends. Remember, people have different allergenic reactions to something that is cooked, uncooked, you know, so you just let them try. When you ask a question like, will MOA help hay fever? MOA and Venali are really good for bringing down upper respiratory issues. You know, will MOA help with chronic kidney diseases? That's a health claim we can't make, but MOA supports all the organs in the body. Those ingredients do. They just do. And
can I ask you, Deanna, obviously, like you said, I know you're in a position, just so people know, when Deanna talks about these ingredients and you look at the research in these ingredients, that shows the benefit, the multiple benefits that this product has. But obviously, Deanna's in a position with a company, you can't make those claims. So I know you guys want the answer. Can it help with this directly? It's difficult for Deanna to do that. But read between the lines and know the quality of these products in there. And just think to yourself, what sort of effect in anyone with any condition would 34 of the most nutrient-dense superfoods in the world, what sort of positive effect would that have on the body? And I think that will help answer a lot of those questions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Can someone with type 2 diabetes take it? Absolutely, because it's low glycemic. So no problemo. We've never tested whether it speeds up your metabolism or not. I don't have an answer. If you rub it on your head, your hair will not grow back. But you could try, please, for fun, and send me a photo of that. I would love to just see that. Any family member, you have to remember when we talk about cancer, and the cancer is essentially an immune deficiency disease, right? I've got cancer cells, you've got cancer cells, Chris has cancer cells. The difference is our natural killer cells, our T cells, our immune system is keeping those cancer cells from growing into full-blown cancer in our body. So anything we do by lowering our stress, by exercising and clean up our environment, having good nutrients in our body is going to improve our immune system, which therefore will help lower your chance or deal with cancer in the body. So you have, you know, one thing on, people ask about some skin issues. Will this help on skin? We get more anecdotal comments about MOA helping people with their skin. It is by far the biggest we give. And it's by far the biggest, you know, comments we get is what it has done for people's skin. And skin issues like eczema and other things like that are a direct reaction to something going on inside the body. So we see people have really good results on that. When people say, if I take a shot of MOA, I can't stand the taste, so I take a glass of water, does this reduce its effectiveness? Nope. Sure doesn't.
Who's the one who said that? Who can't stand the taste?
Yeah, what's wrong with them?
No.
Nicholas Chappelle, like, suck it up already.
Yeah, exactly, man. 34 superfoods. What do you want it to taste like?
I know it's not going to taste like Pepsi. I don't even know what that tastes like.
No, it's the mentality, right? Some, you know, the person who said that, I'm not about them, but generally like customers but you know, it's optimum health, and you know, people who understand about health know that it ain't going to taste like you said, like Pepsi, but you've done a great job of actually getting it. I like the taste, and you wouldn't believe, you know, unless it was you saying about all the ingredients you've got and adding no sugar and adding no other stuff to affect the taste. So it's just the perfect blend. And, you know, I think most people once they do try it, then their palate changes slightly and they become accustomed to it.
I think so too, right? I mean, I think so. It changes. There's a question. I saw a question. Somebody watched some TV program that antioxidants don't work. Oh my holy heck, really? Some people are so dumb. You can go up on Harvard. You can go Stanford. You can go to the best research facilities in the world. And we talk about how antioxidants, work in the body, and they deal with free radicals. What is a free radical? That is the bad guy. We are defenseless against free radicals unless we have antioxidants. And those defenders, antioxidants is a term, a basic lumped together term. Because what antioxidants do, if we go back to basic body physiology, they work by giving electrons to free radicals and changing them and scavenging the substances. So there are hundreds and thousands of different substances that can act like antioxidants. In 100% they work. So I can't even imagine somebody trying to argue that they don't. The research is undeniable.
Okay, cool. Just a quick one. I just got a message that someone said that someone was recording this and putting it live on Facebook. This is a team training call. It's not really the information. Obviously, you can take this information and pass it on. It's not really designed to go live on Facebook. So anyone who's doing that, please stop doing that. And if you're not sure in the future, just check. But just think like this. If we're doing training calls, it's distributed stuff. It's probably not for the wider audience. So I just thought I wanted to say that because someone just sent me a message. Feel like a head teacher telling people off. But
okay, and I got to answer this last thing just because it just kills me, the last one. There was a program, the same program said milk is better than drinking water. I mean, really, who are the morons that did this program? I think milk is worse than eating cow's meat, and I'm vegetarian. So this is simple. Milk was designed to feed their young, right? And a mama cow's got 5 stomachs, and their milk is perfect to take a 65-pound calf and turn her into a really stupid 600-pound cow. Perfect for that. It's perfect to make a human being fat and sick. Mother's milk from women is perfect for their babies. And if you compare mother's milk from a female to milk of a cow, it is like comparing a friggin' apple to an airplane. So when people say that, oh, milk is better than drinking water, oh, sure, if you're a baby and you're nursing from your mother, that's the truth. But folks, we all grow up and it's time to get off the boob and stop drinking milk from other animals because that's not good for you anyway. And it can cause a lot of health problems. It's something I feel very passionate about. We could talk a whole hour about why I don't think you should be drinking milk unless you're a baby cow.
Okay, let me just say, Chris, will you do us a favour? You pour that pint of milk down the sink, please. I'm only joking, Dan. I'm only joking.
It's so mucus forming. For your upper respiratory, we could go on and on. It is so awful. The Dairy Association in America personally came after me.
Because you was out in them. You were selling.
I was causing problems.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
So I think we can wrap up there. It's been an hour now. First, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the call. Again, over 300 on the call. The guys are always excited to hear you, Deanna. And I think now they've got a resource, a tool, a real understanding about MOA and where it came from, the power of the ingredients. And people say to me, "Oh, is the product a little bit expensive?" Well, no, maybe when you start to understand it, maybe it's expensive not to be taking it. What's the price of not flooding your body with those nutrients, right? And like you said, you could have done the industry thing and took the cheaper option and sold it at half the price, but it wouldn't be the product it is today. So, thank you for doing that. And I suppose if you just want to surmise on MOA and why we should, people should be taking it, maybe why we should lead the charge in the UK with this product.
Well, I was put on this planet, I believe, for a reason. And I think I was put on the planet because being 11-year bulimic, being addicted to pharmaceuticals, suffering from really bad skin, migraine headaches, all types of health problems, my family being, pharmaceutical drug consumers, massive amounts. I think, I went through all that for a reason. And the reason was so that I could empathize and help people understand that we are sheep. We are walking around and everybody else takes pharmaceutical drugs, so we take them. Everybody else drinks sodas, so we drink them. Everybody else eats fast food, so we eat them. And we think that's okay because we're followers by nature. And it's hard for people to look out at the world and do things differently, because then people say, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you eating that? Or you're missing out, or no, you want to do what everybody else does. You're going to get what everybody else gets. That's fat, that's sick, that's on pharmaceutical drugs, and that's a short life where you wake up in the morning, you don't feel good. I think, what the heck? That's bullcrap, right? So let's do what everybody else, let's do what people aren't doing, so we can get the other results. Let's do what people, who are living remarkable lives are doing, so we can get those results. It's not rocket science. And so that means exposing yourself to really high quality phytonutrients and foods and herbs and spices and things from all over the world that have positive benefits, because the reality is we're stressed out. We are, and it affects our immune system in our body. And so this is just one way to expose ourselves to all that goodness to help give our body that extra boost. Why do you get your car serviced? So it keeps working right. Health insurance, that's sick insurance. That's where you go when you're sick. This is health insurance. This keeps us from needing your health insurance, which is really just sick care. And remember that. I know a lot of rich people now, my age and older, who are spending all their money just trying to regain their health. I don't want to play that game. Do you want to play that game? I mean, you just had a birthday. You're getting old, and you have a young daughter.
I know, but I drink MOA, so you can't make me feel bad. From the bottom. No, I appreciate it. Thank you, and as always, bringing your passion and enthusiasm for the products down, and that's transmitted. That's rippled through our organisation as well. I know a lot of people feel the same about MOA. Maybe not the same as the Russians, so we need to work on our musicals. But
it's for sure not the same as the Russians until you get a MOA man dressed in a MOA costume with a musical, ensemble with the MOA ingredients. They've got you beat.
But we're working on it, and that's our aim within in the next 90 days. Deanna, as always, thank you taking the time out your busy schedule. For those who don't know, I can reach out to Deanna no matter how busy she's. Different countries, she'll always make time for the group. So I know, from myself and on behalf of the group, we really appreciate your support, and thank you for bringing us these amazing products. And we can't wait to see you soon again in the UK.
I look forward to it too. You guys have a really fun group. It's a little unpredictable, but super fun.
On the edge. That's how we like it. Perfect. Thank you, Deanna, once again.
You're welcome. You have a good one, Kay. Bye, Chris, over there in the background.
Yeah, see you later. Cheers, Deanna. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.